The entire crypto market cap has just set a new all-time high for the first time in years. All the while, massive news for Bitcoin is about to hit Wall Street, sending shockwaves down the backs and deep into their cracks as moon boys worldwide rejoice. Something tells me nobody is bullish enough. So if you're new here, but you understand you're not bullish enough, and in fact, nobody on the planet is, hit that like, subscribe, get signed up to Femex below if you want to buy altcoins, trade, or buy Bitcoin. And without any further ado, let's completely dump on into some absolutely massive groundbreaking news today as we see Bitcoin's price sitting still right near the all-time highs, as yet again another Monday brings massive news for Moonboy kind. And I want to actually jump in and start with this, and I think this will really set the mood. You know, light a candle, have some chocolate, and get comfy because we're about to really set the mood for Bitcoin here. Rajat Sani on Twitter, on X, talking about Bitcoin, and I think it's a path many of us can relate to. He said he saw Bitcoin back around $3,000. He had an ego. He didn't buy it. He thought he knew everything, all this stuff. And the more he zoomed out, and the more he researched it, he learned. And the thing is, most people still, if we're talking about the people on planet Earth, on planet Girth, most people actually still have the same mindset. They're worried about, oh, what if I buy the top? What if it crashes? What if it does all this? That's true. But they also don't see the massive 1,000, 10,000x, 100,000x that has actually happened over the last 15 years. They don't see the same pattern repeating over and over and over again. They haven't gone down the rabbit hole. They haven't done the research. They haven't learned. And once you do, it's a process, right? He talks about it being a process here. But once you do learn, and once you understand actually what's happening here, he says right here, basically, it is designed to be the world reserve asset. And the thing, if you truly, I'm not going to read through the whole post, obviously, but if you truly understand what's happening here, if you truly have a firm grasp, which most of the people watching this channel do, most of you guys like Bitcoin and you understand it, but we're in the minority here. Most of the world doesn't think this way. Most of the people that you watching this video know, most of the people in your personal life, at your job, in your family, most of those people do not understand this. They don't have the same opinion. They have not done the research. They don't have the same worldview and they haven't had that epiphany yet, which, you know, people watching this video have most likely had that epiphany, people that understand how big, right? That's when I say you're not bullish enough, when people say that, it's because if you truly understand what this thing is and what it's doing, quite literally right now, in real time, it's happening in front of us, for pizza's sake. I mean, we can go over, we can look at, you know, what was this one tweet just here? A global healthcare group, Cosmos Health, adopts Bitcoin as treasury reserve asset. Every week, there is a new company doing that or some other breaking news about this. Guys, it's happening right now. And the more you understand that, you understand $100,000 per Bitcoin is quite literally the beginning. $500,000 for Bitcoin, you know, is still, in the grand scheme of things, still the beginning. Okay, obviously, if you bought Bitcoin at $1, obviously that's, you know, that's better. Like, you did a better job than most people. But the point is here, once you have that epiphany, you will join the hordes, the growing number of people, you know, still a small minority, but the growing number of people that understand, wow, this is where I should be putting my hard-earned piggy bank, into Bitcoin. And things are about to change big time. We also see this, the total altcoin market cap today is in the middle of a break. Crypto Amsterdam on X talking about breaking above the mid-range. This is the moment, he says, usually where things get completely banana town, completely bonkers town. Obviously, if we look at the entire crypto market cap, we see we've just set a new all-time high. And if we look at the entire altcoin market cap, again, this is our third so far green weekly candle in a row after breaking out, after, you know, exiting and truly having a breakout out of this bull flag. That's very exciting. Really, are you guys ready for the biggest bull market in the history of Moonboy kind? I know I am. And when I say biggest bull market, what do I mean by that? Do I mean that percentage gains, Bitcoin is going to go up as much as it did in 2012? Not necessarily. When I say the biggest bull market in the history of Moonboy kind, I truly mean we're going to see something that potentially even puts the .com, like 1999 internet boom, all of that, to shame. Once we actually, we're getting these traditional asset managers more and more involved. Wall Street is more and more involved. Actually, one thing I want to highlight is that this is happening. Options trading on BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF could list as soon as tomorrow, according to Nasdaq's Allison Hennessy. We have this breaking news on Bloomberg as well, that they could literally start being listed tomorrow. And this is according to Nasdaq's head of ETP listings. And we also see that British Hodl points out this is a market with about 875 billion to about 3 trillion per day of liquidity. A huge market. As this commenter down here says, the derivatives market is where the real action happens. Do you guys see I think realistically, do you guys see what's happening here? I think it's the bigger question. Do you understand? That's why, if you're looking at this on a day-to-day basis, Bitcoin might move 1 or 2%. Who really cares, right? That's not the most exciting part. Obviously, price exploding 10, 15% in a day is exciting, and making a lot of money is exciting. Obviously, making money is probably the most exciting part, actually. But the bigger story that's happening here is that this adoption is truly happening in front of our eyes, and the true magnitude, the true possibility of nobody really knowing how high this thing could go and how influential, how mainstream, how big it's quite literally about to get, in my opinion, in only a matter of months, I think is going to catch so many people off guard. I think it's going to be a huge wake-up call to most of the people because keep in mind, most people on this planet still are not invested in Bitcoin, and most people outside of crypto are not looking at it or looking to it as the future, right? They still think, whatever negative opinion they might have of it, that is still kind of the prevailing opinion. And I think over the next few months, we are going to have a complete shift in sentiment. We're going to have a complete shift in percentage of people not invested to percentage of people invested becoming the overwhelming majority. And I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. I think that one thing I've noticed too is that the price predictions for Bitcoin are probably the most tame that I've ever seen them. Back in 2019 and 2020, so many people, every day there was a new price prediction of 100,000, 500,000, whatever. This time I'm seeing, most of the predictions I'm seeing now, or first of all, I'm not seeing many predictions, and I'm not giving them either because there's no point. But most of the predictions are relatively tame, like a 2x from here, right? Maybe $150,000 per Bitcoin. That's not a crazy price target, right? And to me, I think it almost illustrates that I think things are just going to be bigger than people are expecting. And I think a lot of people in this space as well are kind of keeping their mouths shut a little bit, because I think a lot of people here understand this could be that defining moment pretty much everyone's been waiting for. I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be this time. I think if we're going to see hyper Bitcoinization, it's going to be this time. It's going to be this cycle, in my opinion. We see obviously MicroStrategy buying another 52,000 Bitcoin for about $4.6 billion today, giving people confidence to get invested with Bitcoin in the billions of dollars without even moving the market, really, right? That's what this network can do now. We also see retail investors are slowly trickling back. Transaction volumes under $100,000 just hit a 3-year high. So we're seeing these smaller accounts and smaller transactions starting to spike up again. We see that $3 trillion Goldman Sachs plan to convert its digital asset platform into a blockchain venture for faster trading and settlements. Actually, one of the biggest pieces of news I think that's worth mentioning right now is that, the sentiment around here isn't people are not euphoric. I even showed that stat a couple of videos ago showing that even views for videos and engagement are still 25% of what they were back in 2021, meaning and there's a million other metrics, including the NUPL indicator that show that we're not at euphoria at this point. But when we are at euphoria, I think we're going to be getting announcements like this. Basically announcements talking about, just giant things like this, day in, day out. I also do want to mention that FTX not being involved in the space anymore is potentially one of the best things that ever could have happened to crypto. Very thankful for that. We also see that MicroStrategy buys, as I just mentioned, 52,000 Bitcoin this week. US Bitcoin ETFs bought about 20,000 Bitcoin last week. We also see about a 215 Bitcoin buy from the ticker symbol SMLR. And then Marathon is raising about 700 million to buy Bitcoin. Only 450 Bitcoin are mined per day. And if these amounts either stay the same in terms of the buying pressure or increase, then price is only going to do one thing. It's going to go up. And I think that this options trading on BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF is going to be, just another necessary step, whether you like it or not, that's going to be happening to Bitcoin. And I think that the buying pressure of this thing is going to continue. We see also, again, I do want to keep mentioning the CME Gap is still right around $78,000 to $80,000. So if Bitcoin would have a flash crash, I really want people to understand my perspective of this is that every single dip, every single 10% or roughly 10-15% drop that we get from here on out, in my opinion, is one thing and one thing only: a buying opportunity that we should be thankful for. With everything that's happened in just literally the past 2 weeks in terms of looking forward to the future of crypto in the US, but also everything in terms of mainstream adoption, specifically on Wall Street, I think it's never been more clear to me. The writing has never been more clear on the writing on the wall that every single dip for the next at least 6 months, in my opinion, should be bought up ferociously, like your life depends on it, like your portfolio depends on it, because I honestly think it does. So that's how I'm viewing every single dip we get here. I'm not looking at any dip as any type of doomsday scenario until we would actually have, weeks and months of the charts showing us, hey, actually, never mind, we're going down. Until something like that would happen, then it's very clear we're still in an uptrend, right? We've been in an uptrend for the past 2 years. And the entire time people have been saying, oh, we're going to break down. And it's never happened. Now, literally the most bullish part of the Bitcoin cycle we're in the middle of right now, it's to be bearish here is quite literally insanity. It doesn't make sense. You have everything going against you. It's like jumping in front of a freight train 100,000 times or something. It's like, it's the silliest, most brain dead play. When we have charts that look like this, which again, the charts look amazing. The charts look fantastic, but realistically, the charts are like not even the most interesting or important thing right now. It's fundamentally what is actually happening here in terms of adoption and the true momentum that's going to be pushing Bitcoin up here in terms of these spot ETFs, in terms of MicroStrategy, in terms of other companies or hedge funds or nations buying Bitcoin. We have never seen anything close to it in terms of buying pressure. And we have never seen a Bitcoin bull market with that type of pressure. And it truly, I personally think, is going to be, that's why I tweeted this, the biggest bull run of all time. I think it's going to be big in a sense that's hard to grasp right now. It's hard to grasp exactly, I think, what's about to happen. At the same time, nobody knows, but all I know is that the winds have shifted towards this being very, very good for the space. And where it takes us, I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with. And honestly, it's the unknown, I think, is even some of the most exciting about this, the exciting parts about it. I think we could go a lot higher than people think. I can get signed up with Femex below if my Bitcoin altcoins are trade. Currently a limited time bonus of $30,000, up to $30,000 if you sign up with my link below. Without further ado, it's for me.